Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to discuss the CPP, or the Canada Pension Plan. And originally when I recorded this video, it was a little lengthy, so I decided to split this into two parts. The first part, this part, is going to discuss the CPP contributions, or the payments you make into the plan, and the second part will discuss how much you get back when you retire. So again, this video is going to cover how much you put into the CPP. And the CPP, as the name implies, is a pension plan. So as a teacher, I am lucky enough. I'm one of the fortunate few that have a defined benefit pension plan. They work very similarly. I put in a certain percentage of my paycheck, around 11%. My employer matches that. And when I retire, I will get a paycheck every single month for the rest of my life from my defined benefit plan. And the CPP works very similarly. You will be putting money into the pension plan, and your employer will match it, and when you retire, you will get a certain payment for the rest of your life. Now, for my defined benefit pension plan, the more I put into it and the longer I work, the more money I get when I retire. The CPP is the exact same. The more you put into it and the longer you put into it, the more money you'll get back when you retire. People are generally a little jealous of my defined benefit plan, saying that I don't need to save as much as they do when they retire, but then they'll reject the CPP, saying that it's a ripoff and they can't believe how much money is coming off their paycheck, when in actuality your CPP is your own defined pension plan. Then they'll tell me that they don't think it'll be around by the time they retire, but those are just false claims as well. The CPP is the 7th largest pension plan in the entire world. It has lots of money, it's very stable. It undergoes an actuarial checkup every once in a while, every few years. I think it's every 3 years. They just had one, and they said it was sustainable for 75 years. So will it be around when you retire? Yes, it will be around when you retire. Should it be part of your retirement plan? Absolutely, it should be. Should you be happy with these forced savings? You should be. It's not a ripoff. This is a fairly good deal for you. So with that being said, let's talk about how much you actually contribute to this pension plan. The CPP has undergone a fairly big change since 2019. The Liberal government made some changes to it. For years, the CPP was actually designed to cover about 25% of your income. But the government recognized that Canadians aren't saving enough for retirement, so they decided to up that. And in the end, CPP will now cover about 33% of your income when you retire. So because you are getting more when you do retire, logic dictates that you actually have to pay more into the account as well to cover your increased payments when you retire. So looking at this spreadsheet here, you can see the changes that have been happening since 2019. For years from 2003 to 2018, you were actually putting in 4.95% of your income into the CPP. That has now changed. So 2019 up to 2025, there is a change to it. They're calling it the Enhanced CPP program. You can see that each year from 2019 to 2024, you actually increased your amount contributed to the plan from 4.95% up to now 5.95%. You can see here that the ceiling, or the max amount of your salary that is going to get charged CPP, has also been increasing quite significantly over the last few years. And you'll notice here in 2024 and 2025, there's a new calculation. It's the CPP2, or the Enhanced CPP, that's also been added to your deductions for CPP. So let's talk about how this all works here for you. So let's say you're a Canadian making $50,000 per year, and so you're in this section here, the 2025, 5.95% of your paycheck goes to the CPP, which ends up being $2,766.75. And I've got a calculator here, and you can see how much you're putting into your CPP. Now, if you were making $100,000 in Canada, your CPP deductions actually go up to $4,430.10. How that works is the first $3,500 that you earn does not contribute to the CPP. Up to, in 2025, $71,300, 5.95% of your paycheck goes to the CPP. And this new CPP2, or the Enhanced CPP, is another little ceiling Sometimes you'll see it as ceiling 2, from $71,300 to $81,200, you're going to contribute another 4% of your income. And again, that's brand new, and that's going to be part of this enhanced CPP where you'll start getting 33% instead of 25%. And you'll notice if I change my gross income to $90,000 from $100,000, then the CPP deductions don't change. It stays at $4,430.10. That's because the ceiling is at $81,200. So if I put something less than $81,200, then you can see that it changes to $4,182.10. I'm still in the second ceiling, so some of my income from $71,300 to $75,000 still gets charged to 4%, and previous to that is 5.95%. So the maximum CPP deductions over a year is $4,430.10. Let's say you are making the $100,000 per year, then you'll notice that the last few paychecks, your maybe November and December paychecks, are a little higher. That's because you are no longer getting the CPP deductions from your paycheck. So from January to say October, you've been making CPP contributions. Once you've reached that $81,200, then you no longer pay into the CPP, and so your last few paychecks will be a little bit bigger because you're not making those payments. And then in January of the next year, you're going to start making those payments for the next calendar year. Another thing to note here is that we've only been talking about the yellow columns here, and that is as an employer. If you are an employer, you and your employer pay the exact same. So 5.95% in ceiling 1 and then 4% in ceiling 2, that's you and your employer. If you're self-employed, however, then you are the employer and the employee, so you have to pay both portions. So you can see the numbers there on the white columns. You'd have to pay 11.90% in ceiling 1 and then 8% in ceiling 2. So you can see what your maximums would be there. As someone who's self-employed, you would have to put in $8,860.20, so twice as much as just a regular employee. And if you're interested in numbers, here are the historical numbers, the historical figures for CPP. The YMPE is the maximum ceiling, and ceiling 1, I guess now. And you can see the YAMPE, that's your second ceiling, only introduced in 2024 and 2025. The YBE is your yearly basic exemption. And then you can see how the percentage of your paycheck going into CPP has increased over the last few years. So I hope this video has helped you see how your CPP contributions are calculated. There are going to be other videos discussing how much you get back from the CPP, so stay tuned for those. And if you have enjoyed this video and would like to stay informed of some of my other ones, please subscribe below and have a wonderful day.